unknown. Okay, it is unknown. Research hasn't proven anything yet. Real cause for the type 1 diabetes. Okay, and number two is although speculations, okay, for the type 1 diabetes, speculations have been made that it could be as a result of some genetic issues. Okay, and then let's move straight into the type 2. Type 2 diabetes is as a result of insulin resistance. Okay, in this case, it's not that the pancreas are not producing enough insulin. It is actually because the insulin does not work in the body. The cells are not responding properly to the insulin being produced in the body. And don't forget, I also mentioned that this kind of diabetes is also referred to as insulin non-insulin dependent diabetes. Okay, type 2 diabetes is also referred to as a non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, or it is also referred to as adult onset diabetes. And then the cause for this particular type of diabetes is excessive weight, excessive body weight. Okay, for those of us that are too fat, obese people, and then insufficient exercise. A lot of us do not take our exercises seriously. A lot of us do not try to, work out and then allow the body to remain balanced. A lot of us do not do exercise. Some of us think that it's even a waste, okay, but it's not. Actually, the reason why people have type 2 diabetes is because of, number one, a combination of excessive body weight and insufficient exercise. And that's not all, because we have another type of diabetes here, and that one is called the gestational diabetes. Okay, gestational diabetes, it is the third main form of diabetes, and occurs when pregnant women without a previous history of diabetes develop a high blood sugar level. Okay, they might not have issues of high blood sugar before pregnancy, but at pregnancy they develop issues of high blood sugar, and this is what we call the gestational diabetes. Now, before I go on, I would like to give you a rough estimate of people that have diabetes in the world. Okay, as at 2017, an estimated 425 million people had diabetes worldwide. I'll take that again. As at 2017, about 425 people had issues of diabetes worldwide, with type 2 diabetes making up about 90% of the cases. Remember, I told you that type 2 diabetes is caused by a combination of excessive body weight and inefficient exercise. And I also mentioned that the type 2 diabetes begins when the insulin produced for the body is not properly utilized. Okay, it is a situation of insulin resistance. Okay, a condition in which the cells fail to respond to insulin properly in the body. All right, now 90% of these cases, as estimated in 2017, is made up of the type 2 diabetes. Okay, now, all of this put together represents at least 8.8% of the adult population, with equal rates in both women and men. Okay? Now, that's not all, because the trend suggests that the rates will continue to rise. Okay? It doesn't end there, it continues to rise year after year. And research has also proven that diabetes doubles the risk of early death in people. Yes, this is proven that diabetes doubles the risk of early death in people, male, female, children inclusive. And as at 2017, diabetes resulted in approximately 3.2 to 5.0 million deaths in the world. Okay, now we're going to talk about the signs and symptoms of diabetes. Okay, a classic or the classic symptoms of untreated diabetes would include weight loss. Number one, weight loss. Number two, polyuria, as I already mentioned, is increased urination. And then we have polydipsia, which is increased thirst. And then for number four, we have increased hunger. I'm going to say that again. Signs and symptoms of diabetes. Okay, when on untreated diabetes. Number one, weight loss, increased urination, increased thirst, and increased hunger. And one will ask, how rapidly does this symptom develop? Well, symptoms for diabetes may develop rapidly in type 1 diabetes within weeks and months. Okay, that's for the type 1 diabetes. While the others develop much slowly and may be subtle or absent in type 2. Okay, in type 2, the symptoms and signs may come up quite slowly, okay, unlike the type 1 diabetes. Now, other symptoms of diabetes mellitus would include tiredness. Okay, I mentioned increased urination, weight loss, increased hunger, increased thirst, and then tiredness. Okay, fatigue from every kind of fatigue. All right, you just get tired. You're always worn out. Yes, that might be a sign or a symptom of diabetes. Well, that's not all, because we have a long list of other signs and symptoms of diabetes. We have blurred vision, headache, and as I mentioned, fatigue, tiredness. Okay, and then we have slow healing to cords. Okay, you might find that a person with diabetes seldom heals, okay, especially when they have injuries. Okay, there's this slow healing to cuts. And then lastly, we have itchy skin. All right, I'm going to say it again. We have blurred vision, weight loss, increased urination, increased thirst, increased hunger, and then we have fatigue, headache, blurred vision, and then I said slow healing of cords. And then of course I also mentioned itchy skin. All of these are signs and symptoms that mark the onset of diabetes. Now let's talk about the causes of diabetes again, and let's try to make it even more comprehensive. Okay, type 1 diabetes mellitus is characterized by the loss of insulin producing beta cells of the pancreatic islets. Okay, and as I already mentioned, type 1 diabetes is partly inherited. Okay, it has something to do with the genes. Okay, type 1 diabetes is partly inherited with multiple genes, including certain HLA genotypes. Okay, known to influence the risk of diabetes in genetically susceptible people. And let's not forget that the type 1 diabetes can occur at any age. Okay, it could happen in adolescence, in adulthood, or at any age at all. Okay, yes, but a significant proportion is diagnosed